Hello, hello, everyone.
Welcome to
Thanks
the
for
Grieving
coming
Sisters. Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah. I'm Jessica and that's Elizabeth. And, we always introduce ourselves. I know people get tired of hearing it, but, some people, they don't listen to every episode.
Maybe
but we
you're
do.
just meeting us.
Duh. Hi.
I mean, we
How
really
you
feel.
doing?
How you doing? We really
Minus my
feel
onesie.
like our content is. You can skip around.
Right.
Like it depends what applies to you.
Correct.
And I think it's a really great thing if you skip around and then go back and learn a little bit more, like our earlier episodes, like social media, or later episodes where we're starting to like bring people on and give you guys resources.
And I do feel like some of our episodes, like we don't go into depth with a lot of things. So I'm hoping that like when we do have other guests that come on, we can kind of dive a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys would send us messages like, hey, I'm kind of struggling with X, Y, and Z, let us know so then we can be able to kind of, we can research it. We get someone to come on our show and really talk about it and, just really shed some light on grief. There's just so many different layers and so many different avenues of grief that it's just, I don't know. I just think it's a lot. So, obviously with this episode, I mean, I find it profounding. Like for me,
I am fascinated by this.
So interesting. Obviously, like, we know what a hospice nurse is, right? And we'll go a little bit into detail with that. But a death doula and a death midwife, I thought was so good to the point that I was just like, man, like, I think I want one.
I think it is such an amazing profession. And it's just so interesting because, sorry, my hair is like weird there.
Listen, this is real time, baby.
Sorry, we're like, we give so much attention to bringing life into this world with midwives and doulas and therapy and birthing classes and books.
And it's like the spiritual route of it. Like it's like very spiritual.
We do all this work to welcome this new soul entering the world.
Right.
But we really don't. Well, now we're seeing that people are really like other cultures do, right?
Yes. Yeah.
They're really having people usher you into this world and usher you out of this world.
And having like just like leaving behind a legacy. I mean, so hospice is just more about like the medical and the clinical part, right? I did have a conversation with and she was very kind. She was really nice. She's like, anything that you need, you can give me a call. But we want to make sure that your dad is in his most comfortable. And I actually had to do a training for one of my CEUs for my licensure, because every 2 years you have to do X amount of hours. And one of them, they were talking about the palliative care. They were talking about how they do videos of like for end of life. So I think that hospice care is bringing into a little bit more of like legacy, spirituality kind of things to leave behind. But I also, what I thought was really great that they said about the doula was, like Death Doulas reminds us that death is not a medical event. It's a human one. And I just was like, wow, like it's profounding, right? Because
it's just like a medical thing.
Yeah, it's like sure, right? We're all gonna pass, but we all also came into this world. And yes, it was a medical one, but it's not necessarily, right? Like they can have water births, like you can have different babies born in the cab.
I think I almost had my daughter in the Lincoln Tunnel. Fun fact.
Oh my goodness.
Almost had my daughter in the Lincoln Tunnel. I got to St. Luke's Roosevelt. No, wait, that's where I was born, in Harlem. I was where was my daughter born? I don't know. Midtown. No, 58th and 10th. I don't know. But I barely got there. But I think why I find this so fascinating, and maybe you do too, is because we were robbed of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because we lost our siblings in such a
traumatic
a minute, like it was such a quick death.
Right.
We didn't have any opportunity to plan.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's a gift for you to watch your family slowly die. Because that I can't imagine.
You don't want to see I experienced both ends, right? Because my brother was traumatic. And then literally watch my dad. And I think I said this in a previous episode that I needed
you
to
saw like
the
the slow
pictures.
decline.
Yeah. And then I still have, I've been deleting every chance I get. Like if I see it, I'm like, oop, gotta go.
Yeah.
But
but I think having the chance, if things played out differently and my sister or someone in my family gets sick, I do think the death doula is just, so here's a little bit more info on a death doula, right? So a death doula is a non-medical professional who provides emotional, physical, and spiritual support to individuals approaching death and their loved ones. The death doula is not just for the person who's passing.
Right. It's for
the entire family.
And it's more of a holistic. It's more of a holistic journey. And I feel like that's what we're starting to see more of, like healers and more holistic, star-seeded, things like as you come, it goes back to that movie Soul.
Yeah. God, I love that movie.
I know, me too. I haven't watched it.
I feel like I need to watch it again now.
That's the second time I brought that up. So,
but they provide emotional support, physical support, spiritual support. They work on legacy projects. They work on advanced care planning, right? Which is assisting with discussing wishes, making plans, ensuring advanced directives are in place.
Right.
They also give a little bit of a break to the caregivers. They can provide relief for family members who are caring for a dying person.
Right.
And they can community support. They can connect individuals with community resources and support networks and grief support. You have you anticipate this grief.
Right.
So it's like the grief process doesn't start when the person passes. It starts when you have to recognize that their time is limited.
Right. So even in that, the not this episode that just passed, but the previous one that we were talking about, not the identity one, but what was the other one prior? We were talking about
the 3 regrets.
The 3 regrets. So I was listening and watching the Good Life, Good Death. They were talking about the book, and the woman was an RN, and she basically was saying how some people, like, so for hospice workers, they only come in once a week, and it's like, for how long? Because you only get really 6 weeks with hospice, and I don't quote me with the number. It was either 6 to 8 weeks with a hospice worker, but it was all about money. It was all about if they were going to make their money and how much money they were going to make if they started to work with this family. As with, doing Death Doula, it's not about that. It's actually withholding and having that compassion and, helping that person leave their legacy behind. And, one of the things that I was reading in the CEU to kind of connect the both, I thought it was so great that they talked from the beginning of their life until the end. So they really, and like, we're in such a great time, like, as much as there's negative to all the advancements with AI and everything like that. Like, I know I've seen some weird videos of like people who've passed with their like children or like with their grandchildren, they combine them. But what I think is great is that now we can actually record them or have them on video. We don't need the camcorder, bring back the 90s, the camcorder, and then we have to rewind the tape, or like a tape recorder, like a, what was it? The
Walkman? Yeah, I think it was like in Home Alone where he would like record stuff. I used to love that thing.
I never could afford it, so I just used everybody else's. But like, even then, right? And I still hated the way my voice sounded, but whatever.
Right.
It is what it is. So yeah, like, even on like the walk, like, now we're so advanced that like, they even have, and I don't know if you know this, like, it's like a heartbeat almost, like they put on their arm, and if you scan it, like on your phone, it's actually their voice.
Oh, you can play like a voice memo.
Yes, a voice memo, and they leave it on the arm.
Oh my God, TikTok. Like my new freaking my new hobby is crying for strangers on the internet.
Oh,
right? It's like
you became one of those.
I became one of those where I'm like, I will literally comment on somebody's post and be like, it's 7 a.m. Like, I'm crying. Or no, I'll start to be like very funny in my grief. I'll be like, joke's on you. I already planned on crying today. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
It's this video of like, it's this video of like this mom who lost a child, and the child was an organ donor and gave the heart to somebody else. And so the person who received the heart recorded the heartbeat.
Yes,
and put it in the bear.
I can't.
Ay, Dios mío.
Well, there was one.
Put it in a bear and then gave the bear to the mom, and now the mom can listen to her kid's heartbeat. I'm like, first of all,
that's a lot.
What an amazing gesture.
Yes.
And like, so heartwarming.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, tear my fucking heart out.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah. And it's really, you know, it just goes back into one of those things like the keepsakes, you know, like I sent you the thing that one of my friends, Jen, sent, that to take the locket of the hair, and they did like the Victorian thing.
I regret not doing that.
See, and like, just, we are just so advanced, right? And I feel like when you're with the death doula, I feel like you can kind of talk about those regrets, right? And again, right, it goes back to that the webinar that I was watching, but like they talk about that too. And I feel like it's also like, it's less invasive.
Yeah.
You know, like if you just want to be you and just be who you are, I feel like with hospice, it's like, wait, whoa. Did you say that? No, now we have to go get you medically like checked out. Like you're going to try to go kill yourself.
Right.
Do you know, like, and that's not what they were saying, but like they're telling you what their story is, and just kind of be able to, you know, help assist the person along to make them comfortable.
There's something here that says that they provide spiritual support and they can help individuals explore their beliefs, connect with spiritual resources, or find meaning in their final journey.
Yeah.
And when I read that, we are all about finding meaning, right? In this purpose.
Yeah.
You know, post sibling loss, right? And it's like, what a beautiful thing to, somebody is dying, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, how would you like to find meaning in this journey of death?
Right.
You know, and it's so true. It's like, this is a human being who's ending their life, right? I mean, or his life is being cut short, right? And what's the meaning? Like, what's the purpose? What's the meaning that you want to have as this happens? You know, some people are like, I really don't want people to be sad. Like, I really don't want you to be sad. Like, I really want to enjoy this. I saw this other video on TikTok. And it was a woman.
Yo, TikTok, listen here.
I know way too much about everybody's life.
But not even that. Can you come and sponsor us real quick? Because we mentioned you guys.
Okay, first of all, can everybody get me to 1,000 followers so I can start monetizing off of the TikTok affiliate program?
Hello.
I mean, how many times do I have to post a cute picture of myself and ask you guys?
A lot, because it seems like they love you.
Like, come on. Like, thank you. I know. I've given you my curly hair care routine. I've given you my foundation requests. Like, what else do you want from me? Get me to 1,000 followers so that I can start making some money. Yeah. And I could just do this podcasting full time. Thank you.
And I love that. Like, so they also have like different things. I don't know. Did you see any of like the memorabilia for like the legacy? Like, did you ever, for example, a friend of mine, when I found out that she passed away, she actually was like, maybe a couple of weeks before, she made like a Facebook video, like a live. And I think she knew it was coming. And she was like, just take care of your health, take care of yourselves, this, that, and the other. I didn't take care of myself. And I was just like, girl, like, why are you talking nonsense? Like, don't talk nonsense. I need to hear your laugh. Like, we would just be cutting people up left and right, just cackling all day long on voice notes. And she was like, no, this is it. So when I got the email, whatever, like when you sign up on their obituary, I received that email like, oh, do you want to plant a tree? And I'm like, nah, that's corny. But for her, right?
For her. Like, she didn't want that, right?
The star. And I got to name a star after her. So now every year at her year anniversary that comes up, they send something like, oh, look, this is the star that's blinking for her. So, and I think like that's something that people should really think about.
The video that I was thinking about before I went on my rant about getting more followers on TikTok so I could make some money off of this damn app was this daughter taking her mom. Her mom's last request was, I want fish and chips and I want to be at the ocean.
The video you sent me.
And she like rolls her mom to the boardwalk and she's eating fish and chips and they're looking at the ocean. And something that I think a death doula would be so good at is like, let's say I could plan this, right? And I have a death doula towards the end of my life. Like my death doula would be like, did you get sunshine today? because I like to feel the sun.
Yeah.
Like I want to be outside.
Right.
Sometimes when I'm like having a tough time, it's like, let me just get outside. I just need to. And I tell people that when they're like, I feel so down. This is going on. This is going on. I'm like, you need to get outside.
Go outside.
But I feel so sad. It's like, just get outside. Just like try to smell some grass or hear a bird. Like I live in the burbs now. And it's like, sometimes the birds are annoying, but people are like, you're so weird. Like, I'm like, they're up too early. That's the problem.
I know. Yapping.
You know, like I have a woodpecker near my house. That's what it is. The woodpecker's driving me nuts. But it's
I'll
true.
save my squirrel
it's
story
like,
for you.
But it's true. But it's true. What makes me feel good is getting outside.
Oh, all the time.
I'll see a bird. I'll see a butterfly. I'll smell some grass. I notice a flower blooming. Like all the times I notice things on my block, like, wow, that tree is like this. So, you know, so it's like medically, they're not going to be like, okay, Miss Elizabeth didn't have like, you know, didn't have any sunshine today or didn't go outside today. Like that's something that the death doula could work with the medical professional and say, hey, do we have to unhook her? Or could we bring this thing with her? Like, let's grab her oxygen tank and, you know.
Well, so it's funny that you bring that up because like my Aunt Rosie, she wanted specific wishes. So she actually went, her daughter and her grandchildren, they took her to Elvis Presley's house. And they, you know, and then she went down to Disney and she kind of did all of that. But so my cousin warned me, she was like, Jess, like, you're going to see Aunt Rosie in a Cinderella gown. And she was in her casket.
Love that.
In a Cinderella, because this is what she wanted. But you know who was almost like that, like the death doula, is Mario, because he went all the way down to Port Monmouth, New Jersey, just to be with my Aunt Rosie. And she said this is what she wanted. This is all her end of life stuff. And I always tell Mario, I'm like, dude, like this, you're meant for this. Like this is your purpose, you know?
Right.
But he was able to put that dress on her, and you know, she got all her dying wishes. You know,
and there's something beautiful in that. You know, like it's so beautiful.
They did a party for her too, an end of life party.
Yeah, like to honor somebody's wishes. I know we're too young to think about these kinds of things, but I think we should think about these kinds of things.
Oh no, I want a whole party
and written them down.
I want a DJ. Don't wear black, because I mean, as much as I love black, but I also love like bright colors. Wear the brightest colors. If you didn't like me, don't be fake. Don't show up. Like just say your regards. I don't know. Put it on memorial. That's one thing I did too. I memorialized Sean's Facebook page. Facebook page. I contacted Facebook and I memorialized it. People could still write on it and do that, but like,
I want to do that.
But look into it because,
well, something that we talked about this. I had a business like a career coach.
Oh yes.
And the career coach, she's amazing. Yeah. But she said, okay, so this week everybody in this room is going to write their obituary. And we were like, fuck?
What? Yeah.
Girl, I'm trying to make $1 million this year. Like I'm selling New York City real estate, baby.
About?
Like how do I meet more rich people? How do I like I had this whole plan.
The golf course.
Right.
No, I'm not even kidding. That's where all the business deals are made.
But also I used to do estates.
Right.
You know, very rich. I mean, I sold a $4 million apartment on Central Park South.
Wow.
Working with somebody's estate. A very rich person passed, and through connections, you know, me and my partner Mark was able to like, you know, approach the estate by like helping them get like move the items out.
Yeah.
I think that's why we really got the listing, because we were like, okay, we were with the estate lawyer, like, what do you need? Like, we need to like get all the stuff out of here.
Right.
And some is going to auction. Some is going, she had jewelry.
Oh, I
that
can't
was
imagine.
at like the auction. But anyway, it was just like, I'm thinking she's going to show me on like how to be, you know, because I was like, maybe this is like my thing. Like I have a soft spot for this.
Right.
How interesting. Well, here we are. Right.
Yeah.
But it was like handling estates with care. And I did a lot of estates in the rental market.
Right.
People who like passed and like I had to take care of their property and things like that. But she said, no, you're going to write your obituary. And I was like, why?
Right.
That's so dark.
Yeah.
And what the hell, you know? And she was like, well, what do you want it to say about you when you are at the end of your life?
Wow.
If it says Elizabeth was a mother of however many, or Elizabeth spent her life giving back this way. Elizabeth was very active in her church. Elizabeth did this with her life. It's like, if my obituary says Elizabeth spent 40 years in real estate and helped this in the housing market and did this and did that and became an investor and was a great mom and was at her kids' games, and it's like, and it's true. She's like, you need to write your obituary and work backwards.
Wow, that's very, very
and
intense.
I was like, yeah, and I still didn't really do it because I just got really sad.
Yeah, well, because it goes back to the uncomfortable conversations, the uncomfortable things that we have to do or that we need to do for grief, or well, not really for grief, but really for your end of life.
Right.
But I feel like the doula would really be such a great assistance, right? Because when you're about to give birth, like, they're helping you breathe. Midwives, they're helping you breathe. They're helping you
your whole mental state.
That's it.
Of bringing this soul into this world. To have somebody who's dedicated to your mental state, your happiness, your legacy, your final wishes, everything as you leave this earth. I think it's I'm fascinated by this whole thing. I'm going to definitely dig deeper into this.
Oh, yeah. And then I actually did reach out to a death doula, and she's so excited. She wants to join us.
I would love to hear about that.
And she has so much information. But I did want to talk about one thing that I did find. It's something called artifacts. But I don't know if it's artifacts, but I guess it's artifacts. And basically, they work with the CIA. And what they do is it's an app that allows one to capture an image of an object and catalog it. And each image can be accompanied by words, tags, pricing, links, dates, country of origin, and more. It's a tool that can be used by people who are downsizing, looking to pass along their heirlooms, creating a catalog of objects for a client or loved one, and sharing the relevance of the item with others. Oh, wow. So it kind of goes into like almost like estate planning. And I just think that, like, one of the things that it says, we're each keepers of unique moments and memories. And I just thought it was just so cool to like look at an app again, right? I think we're just so bombarded with a lot of information at our fingertips that we become overwhelmed and we like kind of shut down. And then that's what I think a lot of people get stuck in their grief too, because it's just too much. It's just overwhelming.
But it's true. When somebody suddenly dies and you go through all of their stuff, you don't know what was important or what wasn't.
Right. And who and what to give away, what do they want to keep, what do they want you to keep, right? Like, why does anybody need that guessing game? Like, me, first of all, I'm like, throw everything out. Like, I'm a big throw everything out. I don't need it. It's junk. It's material stuff. But it goes back to what you were saying about, well, you know what? Who do I want to give my jewelry to? Who do I want to leave, I don't know, a jewelry box to? Who do I want to leave my plate set to? Like, although it's materialistic things, but I wanted to kind of live on to what it is.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's like, if I have a bunch of watercolor. Yeah. Brushes and paintings and this and that. It's like, and I don't even think about it, but what if it was like, I would want to make sure, or things that you don't care about. Right. That is kind of a good idea to be like, look, these are the things that are important to me. This is who I want to have them.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be something of value.
It's not a will thing. It's just like materialistic almost, but it's like, it's yours and you worked hard for it, or, it was passed down from generation to generation and it needs to be stayed in the family.
I couldn't find my sister's Bible.
Oh.
And my aunt has it. And she was like, I wanted to share this with you. I have it open to a page she had marked, and this is Isaiah and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, thank God.
Yeah. Oh, because you thought it was gone.
Because I was like, where is her Bible? Like, either I want it or I want somebody to have it.
Somebody in the family.
So like things like that.
Right. Exactly.
I specifically want to say, this Bible, I want this person to have this, Bible study journal. I want, like that. Those are things that are super important to me and would be important to my kids, but other people wouldn't know that.
Right. Exactly. Well, we hope that we can be able to get some more information about Death Doula. We are so invested in this, and we can't wait to tag some Death Doulas and give us,
if you've ever used one, if you know anybody who's ever used one, if you are interested in becoming one.
Yes.
If you
the Death Institute Network, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, we'd love to continue the conversation on this.
Absolutely. So you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify,
Instagram, TikTok.
Yes, leave us some comments, boost up that algorithm.
Yes, please keep pushing the algorithm so we get to the people who need it the most.
Absolutely. And thank you for always supporting us and watching us. Thank you.
Thank you.